As I've lost weight and have been getting more into health, I've been reading more about different athletes' diets. And one that keeps popping up is F1 champion Lewis Hamilton. To be an F1 driver, you need to be incredibly lean, and Lewis Hamilton stays incredibly fit. And in 2017, he switched to an entirely plant-based diet. So I've been trying to find some meal plans and recipes that he does, but from the sounds of it, a majority of his diet is legumes and healthy fats. But one thing that kept popping up over and over again is his love for vegan curries. But he says that he stays away from them because they're too fattening. So I had a thought. What if we could make a low-fat, super high-protein vegan curry and it was still just as creamy and just as delicious? So here it is. Let me show you how to make it. I think this is the vegan curry that Lewis Hamilton would want to try.
So first, let's prep our veg. I'm going to start with a whole sweet onion chopped. Then about a 1-inch cube of ginger. Now, I never do the spoon trick to peel the ginger. I just cut it into a cube, then slice it into matchsticks, and then mince up. Now, we're going to be using 2 serrano peppers. You can use as many as you want depending on the heat, but I'm going to just slice around the seeds and then again mince. So now we're just going to move over to the stove and start with a large skillet over a low heat and a tablespoon of olive oil. Again, we're trying to keep the fat low here. Once the olive oil is hot and simmering, we're going to add the onion, ginger, and peppers, and then simmer until it's translucent. Now, while that's simmering, I'm going to mince up a whole head of garlic. Now, again, you can use as much as you like. 6 to 8 cloves would be enough. After about 3 minutes, the onions and peppers are translucent. I'm just going to add the garlic and then we're going to put together our spices. For the spices, I'm just going to use about 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, a teaspoon of sweet paprika, and a teaspoon of garam masala. Now we're just going to add the spices, mix them in. You're going to smell it get pretty fragrant within a minute, and then we're going to add our sauce. I'm just going to be using about 8 ounces of tomato sauce. Now I'm just going to pour that in, mix it up, and this turns into like a nice curry paste. Now I'm going to keep this heat really low, continue mixing, and then we're going to get our tofu ready. Now I wanted to replicate kind of like a paneer, like a squeaky cheese, so I'm going to be using a super firm tofu. This is really, really firm. I'm just going to cube it up, toss it into a bowl, and I wanted to add a sour element to it, so I'm just going to be using about half of the juice of a lime and then some salt. Now I'm going to toss this into the air fryer. You could just throw it in a baking pan in the oven if you want, and cook it at about 380 degrees for 10 minutes, which is plenty of time for today's sponsor.
Did you know the first perforated toilet paper rolls were introduced in 1890? But it wasn't until 1930 that we officially had splinter-free toilet paper. That's wild. But before that, people were just using whatever they had. And now the sad thing is, we're clear-cutting our forest just to make something that's used once and then flushed down the toilet. And that's why I love Real paper. Real makes sustainable toilet paper that contains no trees. It's made from 100% bamboo and certified by the Forest Stewardship Council. That means they were responsibly harvesting bamboo grass that's used for this paper. And while all the TP you're getting from the grocery store is wrapped in plastic, Real paper is packaged in plastic-free, it's compostable, and they offer free shipping on all their orders. And I love that Real partners with One Tree Planted. So every box of Real that you buy, they are funding reforestation efforts across the country. Instead of cutting down trees like the rest of the TP industry, Real is helping to actively plant them. And honestly, the real best part is you can't beat how soft this toilet paper is. It feels incredibly high quality. We just love it. So gang, Real paper is available for easy, hassle-free subscriptions or for one-time purchases over on their website. All orders are conveniently delivered right to your door with free shipping and 100% recyclable, plastic-free packaging. If you head to realpaper.com/Saucestache and use code Saucestache at checkout, you'll automatically get 30% off your order and free shipping. That's REELPAPER.com/Saucestache. Enter promo code Saucestache and get 30% off your order plus free shipping. So let's stop flushing our forest and try Real's tree-free paper. Real is paper for the planet.
Okay, we're back. Now while we're cooking the tofu, I'm going to toss some rice into a rice cooker, wash it, and I'm going to add about a half teaspoon of fennel seeds, and then just cook. Now, a majority of the fat from curry often comes from the coconut milk. One can, which I usually use, has about 60 grams of fat, 55 grams saturated fat, which is the bad part. So let's make the cream, but only half of the fat, and out of that only 3 grams are saturated fat, using silken tofu and a touch of olive oil. So we're just gonna toss the silken tofu into a bowl or a cup and add 1 teaspoon of agave, a squeeze of half of a lime, and about a tablespoon of olive oil. Then I'm just gonna blend with an immersion blender. You could toss this into a regular blender if you want. Now, once it's incredibly smooth, you can taste it and see if you need a little bit more lime juice. I ended up adding about another squeeze of lime juice and a little touch of water just to kind of like thin it out just a little bit. Now, at this point, the tofu is done. I'm going to add about a half of a cup of frozen peas to the curry sauce. You can really add any veggie that you want. Now, I'm gonna slowly fold the tofu into the paste. Then we're gonna add in our faux coconut milk blend and stir. This is an incredibly creamy vegan curry, and it's almost no saturated fat. It's incredible. Now, I'm just gonna plate this up. I'm gonna add some of the rice to the bowl, add in the curry with the tofu, and then top it with a bit of cilantro, and that is it. And then this looks phenomenal.
20 grams of fat in this. I mean, I'll have to add the rice in, so I'll throw that on the screen. But all in all, this is just super protein. Oh my gosh. Okay. You wouldn't really, it's super creamy. It's not missing anything without the coconut milk. The lime juice really kind of takes care of that fruitiness, I guess you would say. All the flavors are there. Cauliflower would be awesome. The extra firm tofu cooked dried with like the lime juice gives it like, there is like that squeak that you would get if you were getting like a paneer. I mean, this is amazing. I don't know if there was anything I would really change. All in all, this is excellent. Let me know. I was thinking about making some pancakes for Lewis Hamilton. He said that's one of his favorites. And again, I can't find any particular recipes that he uses. There's a lot of like plant-based athletes that have some like really great recipes online. If it gets shared enough and he happens to see it, this will be his fat-free vegan curry. Man, I'm so excited about this.